Okay, gang, really quick before we jump into the video. You may or may not know that I left academia a few years back for broadcasting, but teaching the next generation has and always will be on my heart. I've been broadcasting now through 3 election cycles, and I'm just sick at what the elites have done to our education system. So I decided to step up. My team and I have been working on this for well over a year now. I started a school, and I have absolutely massive plans to take it nationwide. The Worldview Institute of Entrepreneurship and Apprenticeship opens its first location in Lancaster, Pennsylvania on April 9th, and I want to invite you to the ribbon cutting. And I built a whole amazing event around it, so I want you to come and join me at the Kingdom Builders Experience, April 9th through 11th. You'll get an exclusive invite to the school's ribbon cutting. You'll be invited to a special Scotch and Cigars meetup with yours truly. I'll be lecturing at the school, plus we're hosting a Business Makers Summit where education meets opportunity. Now, seats are limited. Click the link below to learn more, and I can't wait to see you there. War has broken out in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rwandan military forces are getting more and more involved. Entire battalions of Rwandan fighters have crossed into the DRC to fight alongside the Congolese rebels, and together, the rebels and the Rwandan military have quickly taken over key cities throughout the region. The war is spiraling out of control, with soldiers from Burundi, South Africa, Tanzania, and even Romanian mercenaries getting increasingly involved. But observers have their eye on one international force in particular, a power whose involvement may end up changing the world. The M23 rebels are ethnic Tutsis who live in the Democratic Republic of Congo. As a minority, they're the same Tutsi ethnicity that makes up around 10% of the neighboring nation of Rwanda, who were, of course, the victims of that horrible genocide back in the 1990s. And that's key to understanding what's really happening here. During the Rwandan genocide, General Paul Kagame, with a Tutsi-led force, ended the genocide with a military victory. Now, from that point on, the Tutsi minority of Rwanda have been in charge of the country for over the last 30 years. Many ethnic Hutus responsible for the genocide fled to neighboring DRC, the Congo. One of the Hutu groups, the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, which includes some of those responsible for the Rwandan genocide, is still very active in eastern Congo. Rwanda describes the FDLR as a genocidal militia and says its continued existence in the Congo's east threatens Rwanda's national security. Rwanda officials accuse the Congolese authorities of working hand-in-hand with the FDLR to destabilize Rwanda, accusations which Congolese authorities, of course, deny. Nonetheless, Rwanda, in retaliation, is supporting a Tutsi uprising inside the Congo. Since it began in 2022, the insurgent rebellion has made serious gains, taking over major cities in the Kivu region, particularly the city of Goma, the capital of the North Kivu province, which is home to around 2 million people. Now, the uprising's been nothing less than a military disaster for the DRC. There have been recent peace talks between Rwandan and Congolese officials in Doha, Qatar, with both sides calling for a ceasefire. But as the governments of Rwanda and the DRC are at the table, the M23 rebels, these Tutsi rebels in the Congo, they're continuing to advance, capturing more and more towns, key mining centers throughout the DRC. Overall, the war in the DRC has caused great instability in the region, as you can imagine, with multiple African nations increasingly getting involved. But one nation in particular is eyeing this instability as an opportunity to expand its foothold on the continent, and it's the one that has international observers most concerned: Russia. Gang, I'll be the first to admit that bad habits can be a struggle for anyone, myself included. And when I hear about a good solution to solving a bad habit I know many people deal with, I gotta share it with my peeps. Now, what if I told you that there was an enjoyable and fun alternative to one of the most prevalent bad habits in our society? Well, that's where Fume comes in. This is new flavored air device. It's quickly becoming the new alternative to those old choices, whether you're helping someone build better habits or just want to give them something fun and relaxing. Fume makes an awesome gift for everyone. It's an award-winning flavored air device with phenomenal flavor, and it's a guilt-free option with non-toxic flavors like peach blush and sparkling cranberry. It's like having your favorite herbal tea and knowing you can feel good about it. The best part about Fume is that it fills a void when you're trying to kick those nasty habits. It's one way that courageous conservatives can fight against the left and their agenda to keep Americans down. Fume conducts third-party studies. They have amazing quality control of their products, and they're developed with real doctors right here in the United States. Head on over to tryfume.com/Steve Turley and use Steve Turley, all one word, to get a free Fume topper when you order a Journey pack. Again, click on that link below or go to tryfume.com/Steve Turley or just scan the QR code on the screen to grab yours right now. Back in 2023, Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted the Russia-African Summit in St. Petersburg. And he shocked the world by announcing a comprehensive strategic partnership with the whole of the African continent, particularly in what's known as the Sahel region. Putin trumpeted the fact that Russia holds by far the largest share of the global wheat market. Russia produces nearly 100 million tons of grain a year, a full 20% of the wheat production on the planet. Putin then announced, to the astonishment of all the attendees, that Russia would be supplying 6 nations like Zimbabwe, Burkina Faso, Somalia, Eritrea, with up to 50,000 tons of grain each, and all for absolutely free. Now, many analysts recognize that this really was a game changer in the ongoing geopolitical battle for influence and resources throughout the continent of Africa. The announcement came after a sharp price increase on the worldwide wheat market as a result of Putin exiting from what was called the Black Sea Grain Initiative. The initiative had served as a rare diplomatic compromise between Russia and Ukraine that allowed Ukraine to export millions of tons of wheat, corn, barley, and other crops despite Russia's blockade of its ports. Well, after Putin put an end to that deal, the price of wheat obviously shot up significantly, contributing to a surge in food prices worldwide, and then obviously risking tremendous food security on the continent of Africa. So in a stroke of, frankly, geopolitical brilliance, Putin took that opportunity to announce to these African leaders that they are now officially exempt from that food inflation. Putin also announced that Russia would be forgiving billions of dollars of African debt, and he was forgiving that debt as a gesture of solidarity in African support for traditional moral values and the resistance against the insanity of the woke West. Putin reiterated Russia's commitment to strengthen its ties with African nations, highlighting Russia's consistent support for anti-imperialist and anti-colonial movements during the Soviet era. Now, what Vladimir Putin has been tapping into here is a massive trend that's absolutely exploding throughout the African continent, a powerful populist movement known as Pan-Africanism, where more and more African leaders are calling for the expulsion of European political and cultural influences left behind from the colonial period and are seeking instead to cultivate a uniquely African civilizational world. And for Pan-Africans, Russia really is seen as a model for how a nation can rebuild itself into what scholars call a civilization state. Russia's emphasis on traditional moral values and the centrality of religion in civic life, together with its resistance against Western colonialism, has made Russia a powerful ally for the rising traditionalism that's permeating the African continent. The question now is, will this latest unrest in the Congo be yet another occasion for Russia to expand its influence throughout the continent? A number of analysts are saying yes and are watching very closely Russia's possible role in the conflict and in its ongoing peace negotiations. But whatever role it plays, it will only further draw the African continent as a whole, away from the West. Until then, the war in the DRC rages on. A war that isn't just changing the Congo, Rwanda, or the African continent. With Russia's possible involvement, it does indeed have the potential of changing the world as well. You may or may not know that I left academia a few years back for broadcasting, but teaching the next generation has and always will be on my heart. I've been broadcasting now through 3 election cycles, and I'm just sick at what the elites have done to our education system. So I decided to step up. My team and I have been working on this for well over a year now. I started a school, and I have absolutely massive plans to take it nationwide. The Worldview Institute of Entrepreneurship and Apprenticeship opens its first location in Lancaster, Pennsylvania on April 9th, and I want to invite you to the ribbon cutting. And I built a whole amazing event around it, so I want you to come and join me at the Kingdom Builders Experience, April 9th through 11th. You'll get an exclusive invite to the school's ribbon cutting. You'll be invited to a special Scotch and Cigars meetup with yours truly. I'll be lecturing at the school, plus we're hosting a Business Makers Summit where education meets opportunity. Now, seats are limited. Click the link below to learn more, and I can't wait to see you there.